What happens when a spider enters an ant colony's territory? In this 90-day experiment,
Day 1. I've prepared a controlled mini ecosystem with soil, moss, moisture, and 2 apex predators destined to collide in nature's tiniest arena.
Bonus. The ants move fast, mapping at every surface, marking territory with pheromones. Unbeknownst to them.
On day 2, I introduce the assassin, a wolf spider, agile, silent, built for ambush. The colony has no idea yet.
the ants begin organizing, food distribution, tunnel expansion.
Silently, the spider waits. It studies the ant movement, memorizing patterns. A predator uses patience as a weapon.
Humidity rises, creating a perfect storm for both species. High moisture fuels the ant's expansion, but also primes the spider's senses.
The colony begins expanding tunnels underground. A second queen chamber is formed, ensuring population growth and defensive advantage.
In the opposite corner, the spider starts weaving anchors, strategic webhooks, not to trap ants, but to stage its assassinations.
I drop live prey into the arena. Now the ants and spider must compete, not just survive. The real clash is beginning.
The ants strike first. In seconds, the cricket is overwhelmed and shredded. Numbers and coordination give them an early advantage.
But in a flash, the spider strikes from behind, stealing a chunk of prey the ants were feasting on. A silent declaration of war. Night falls. The ants retreat in shifts while the spider becomes unstoppable. Darkness is its playground. The spider stalks closer to the nursery. It senses movement. One strike here could decimate the colony's future. But the ants feel the threat too. Their pheromone alarm triggers instantly, and soldiers swarm into position to block every pathway. It's fascinating how both species embody survival differently. Ants fight with unity. The spider tests its limits, squeezing into a narrow tunnel for a direct assault. The ants are waiting. A brutal clash erupts. Ants latch onto the spider's limbs, trying to immobilize it. The air vibrates with violence.
Injured but alive, the spider retreats and retreats deeper into the moss. The war has only begun, and both sides know it.
On day 21, the ants advance cautiously near the spider's burrow, testing their limits as the predator stays motionless like a coiled spring. The wolf spider senses every vibration. Even the faintest ant step becomes a signal, a warning, and a potential meal. Fire ants begin to spread pheromone trails, mapping out the arena and preparing for the moment they'll need to strike as a unit. Meanwhile, the black widow fortifies her trap, building seamless silk tripwires under cover. Two species study each other in silence. One hunts with venom and stealth, the other with numbers, strategy, and overwhelming force. The wolf spider sharpens each claw and resets its stance, anticipating that a miscalculation tonight could cost it every advantage. Teams of fire ant scouts pass through fern basin, intentionally triggering vibrations to measure the spider's reaction time and retreat pattern.
Suspended on her web, the widow waits, unmoving, untouchable. Her venom is enough to lick.
On day 29, the first attack unfolds in a flash. The wolf spider strikes 2 ants in one devastating leap.
Even after their first casualties, the colony remembers. They retrieve the fallen and...
But this arena hides a secret. A larger predator watches from the shadows, waiting for its moment to join the war.
Inside the nest, fresh workers are raised. Every individual strengthens the colony's chances against the increasingly deadly threats above. At dawn, the spider descends to the water pool, pausing its aggression for a moment of survival in its own fragile balance. An ant chain forms, linking legs and mandibles to build a safe passage across unstable roots. Mobility secured, assault plans begin.
The widow now senses hunger. Her venom sacs swell, and the web.
The wolf spider removes ant residue from its fangs. Venom is costly to produce, and it cannot afford unnecessary waste.
Day 37 erupts in chaos. Hundreds of ants form a wave, converging on the wolf spider's den for round 2.
The spider thrashes, each limb a battlefield. Ants cling relentlessly, sacrificing themselves to exhaust the predator's energy reserves.
Blooded but alive, the wolf spider retreats, the tide is turning, and the ants have tasted what victory might feel like. The arena heals in silence. But in this fragile calm, every creature senses.
Day 41, the fire ants attempt a silent approach, navigating around the spider's web traps. Testing it, the wolf spider awaits, motionless yet hyper-focused. This predator isn't just strong, it's
A coordinated formation begins. Worker ants flank left, while soldiers create a diversion.
In a sudden burst of energy, the spider snaps forward, ensnaring the first attacker. One casualty. Day 45. The colony mourns its losses, but doesn't break. Every fallen ant becomes a lesson.
The wolf spider consumes its prize.
Instead of attacking head-on, the ants adapt. A tunnel forms beneath the web. They plan to fight from below, where silk has no power. The spider pauses. Something shifts beneath its legs. A new kind of threat is emerging. A threat it cannot see. Day 49. The ants erupt from beneath, bypassing the silk, swarming the underside. They found the one place the spider didn't defend. Caught off guard, the spider lashes out blindly. It spins, bites, struggles, but the ants
The wolf spider unleashes venom in desperation, immobilizing several ants instantly. One struck.
By day 52, the colony regroups. There are casualties. But for every, they mark a new pheromone trail, a call to arms. The next assault will not be underground or frontal. It will be everywhere at once.
The spider prepares, moving higher, anchoring stronger webs, ready to defend. Day 55. The ultimate swarm rises. A wave of reinforcements enters the arena. In seconds, chaos returns. Ants ignite a storm of mandibles. Webbing tears.
Day 57. The spider is cornered, exhausted. This apex hunter spent its last strength.
The defeated spider becomes part of the cycle. No waste, no ceremony. Nature absorbs everything.
By day 59, the arena transforms from battlefield to ecosystem. A fragile balance restored.
Every conflict in nature tells story. A battle for territory, survival.
Legend. On day 61, the wolf spider finally emerged under cover of darkness, creeping toward the colony.
The fire ant scouts detected subtle movement nearby, instinctively forming a defensive perimeter.
In a sudden strike, the spider launched over the moss, its fangs flashing under the light, seizing an ant and retreating instantly into shadow.
Alarm pheromones spread through the colony, triggering a frenzy of activity as reinforcements rushed in.
The swarm overwhelmed the spider's leg joints, biting aggressively into its thin membranes, trying to immobilize the predator.
Wounded, the spider retreated again, venom dripping from its fangs, forced to conserve energy.
In response to the attack, the fire ants redirected resources, reconstructing deeper tunnels and even as the colony restored order, the spider groomed its fangs carefully, methodically preparing for round 2 with significantly deadlier resolve.
Deep underground, the fire ant queen continued laying eggs, her survival critical to the colony's long-term battle. On day 71, the spider returned, bolder and more strategic, stalking the Scouts positioned at the entrance detected the vibrations instantly, their antennae pulsing with urgency as they silently signaled the colony's defenders. With stunning speed, the spider burst into the tunnel entrance, grabbing a soldier ant mid-stride, the force of the strike snapping its exoskeleton instantly. Before the fire ants could respond, the army ants swept in, turning the battle into a three-way war as desperate survival instincts took over. The terrarium transformed into a violent ecosystem, where predators and prey constantly shifted roles in a cycle of us. One lone fire ant, injured but alive, struggled across a fallen leaf, dragging its crushed.
The wolf spider secured its kill and began feeding, silently consuming the ant while carefully guarding its position, always aware of surrounding threats.
Meanwhile, the army ants regrouped higher in the terrarium, strategizing and preparing to strike again only when the spider let its guard down.
By day 80, the arena looked unrecognizable, covered in tunnels, webs, and abandoned corpses.
Day arena sight.
Wired. The army ants reform their formation, building living bridges and tunnels. No retreat. Every movement has a purpose.
The spider waits in the shadows, motionless, calculating. Its eyes reflect war and hunger. It knows the ants are coming.
The fire ants abandon subtlety. They start digging a side tunnel, not for escape, but for ambush. War in 3 dimensions.
Day 85 rack. The clash begins. One ant leaps, followed by dozens. A lone ant drags its injured body away from danger.
The spider retreats for repairs. It spins thicker silk, reinforcing its retreat. Despite the chaos, the ants feed their colony. Small victories matter. The future of the nest depends on every mouth that stays alive. Day 89 Corms. This tank has transformed. Once a sterile habitat, it's now an evolving the final ambush. Ants swarm from 3 angles. The spider strikes back violently. Both sides have reached their breaking point. The ground is littered with casualties. Not every creature survives the experiment. But nature wastes nothing. Life continues.
The spider consumes its prize. It didn't win the war, but it won this moment.
Deep beneath the soil, the queen's legacy continues. Eggs are fed, guarded, life adapts. New moss grow where battles were fought. Even in destruction, something always finds a way to bloom.
Day 95 Tylov. The battlefield quiets. The balance has shifted.
This tank has taught us something. Conflict creates motion. Motion creates evolution.
What we witnessed was not just an experiment. It was a window into survival, instinct versus adaptation.
The arena will rest, for now. But a new predator waits, and a new story is about to unfold.
And so concludes 90 days inside this micro war zone. Thank you for watching the fiercest battle you'll never see in the wild.
Like, comment, and subscribe for more untamed experiments. A new predator arrives in the next episode. You won't want to miss it.